Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. This time we're doing a mini deep dive. Perfect for when you're short on time, but still need those crucial insights. And, we always like to go straight to the experts here, so we're tapping into the awesome folks at theperfectdeveloper.com. They know their stuff when it comes to finding the right developers. And speaking of finding the right developers, today we're going to unlock the mystery of hiring software interface developers. In fact, while you're listening, why not head over to theperfectdeveloper.com and try their 5 questions tool. It's super quick, and it'll give you a really good idea what kind of developer you need for your project. Okay, let's dive in. So we're talking about hiring a software interface developer. What does that even mean? What are we actually hiring them to do?
That's the million-dollar question, right? Well, think about any software you love using. What makes it so easy? It's the interface,
Yeah.
those buttons, the menus, the whole look and feel. That's what these developers build.
Okay, so they're like the designers then.
Sort of, but not exactly. They work with designers. Think of it like this. If software was a car, the interface developer designs the dashboard, the steering wheel, all the parts you actually touch.
Ah, I get it. So they take the ideas from the UI UX designers and actually make them work.
Exactly. They use code, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, all those fun things, plus frameworks like React or Angular.
Okay, that makes sense.
But why is it so important to have a specialist for this? I mean, can't any developer do it?
Well, technically, yes, but usability is a science. A really great interface developer understands how people interact with software, and they make sure it's intuitive and enjoyable.
Right. No one wants to use software that's clunky and confusing.
Exactly, and that's why their expertise can seriously make or break your product.
Okay, I'm convinced.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the money question. What's the salary range for these interface wizards?
Well, like most things in tech, it depends. Experience obviously plays a big role. A junior developer might start around 50 to 70,000, mid-level 70 to 100,000, and senior developers, those rock stars, can easily hit 150,000 or more. Wow. Okay, so experience makes a big difference.
It does. But location matters too, especially in those big tech hubs like San Francisco or New York.
Right? Those places are expensive.
Exactly. But here's something really interesting. With so many people working remotely nowadays, you can often find incredible talent outside those expensive areas.
So I could potentially save money and still get a great developer if I'm open to remote work.
Absolutely. Now, the next big decision you'll face is how to hire. Full-time, part-time, in-house, outsourcing. There are so many options.
There's a lot to think about.
It can be, but don't worry, we'll break it all down so you can choose the best model for your specific project and your budget.
I'm feeling a little less overwhelmed already. This is great stuff, but we're just getting started right. There's more to come.
Oh yeah, we're just scratching the surface. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Ready to find that interface developer superstar? Well, the good news is you don't have to do it alone. ThePerfectDeveloper.com can really make things easier. But let's say you want to explore other options too. Where do you even start looking?
Yeah, it feels like a jungle out there. Where do I even begin?
Okay, well, you've got the usual suspects like LinkedIn, but don't just blast out a generic message to everyone. Use those filters.
Filters.
Yeah. You can specify location, years of experience,
Yeah.
even the specific programming languages and frameworks you need. Things like React Vue or Angular.
Ah, so it's all about those keywords.
Exactly.
Okay, but what about those hidden gems? The developers who aren't just constantly updating their resumes. Where do I find them?
Ah, you're thinking like a pro now. For that, GitHub is your secret weapon.
GitHub. Isn't that just for code?
It is, but it's also a window into a developer's soul.
Whoa, okay. Dramatic. I like it.
But seriously, you can see their coding style, the complexity of the projects they've worked on, even how well they collaborate with others.
So it's like a portfolio, but way more in depth.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm adding GitHub to my list.
Good. And don't forget about your network.
My network.
Yeah. Ask around, someone you know might have the perfect developer in their circle.
Oh, that's a good point.
And industry events, those are gold mines. You can actually talk to developers face to face, get a feel for their passion, see if their personality would be a good fit for your team.
Okay, so I've found some promising candidates. Now, how do I separate the coding rock stars from the wannabes? Resumes can be so misleading.
You're telling me? Don't just take their word for it. Put those skills to the test.
How do I do that?
Coding challenges are your friend.
Coding challenges.
Yeah. Give them a real-world problem, something related to your project, and see how they approach it. Their problem-solving skills, their coding style, it'll all shine through.
I like it. It's like a mini audition.
Exactly.
But what if they're great coders, but they just freeze under pressure? Is there a way to see them in action, but in a more collaborative setting?
Great question. Pair programming is fantastic for that.
Pair programming.
Yeah. Have them work on a task with someone from your team.
Oh, interesting. So I can see how they interact with others.
Exactly. You'll see how they think through problems, how they communicate their ideas, and just generally if they'd be a good fit, personality-wise.
That's so smart. Okay, but are there any online tools that can help with all this?
Yeah.
This evaluation process can be a bit overwhelming.
Don't worry, there are tons of tools out there. Platforms like CodeSignal and HackerRank, they provide standardized coding tests.
Standardized tests.
Yeah. It levels the playing field and gives you some objective data on their technical skills.
Okay, so that takes care of the technical side of things. But what about those soft skills? How do I know if someone's a good communicator, a team player, all that good stuff?
Ah, the elusive soft skills. You're right. Those are super important. And for those, behavioral interview questions are your go-to.
Behavioral interview questions.
Yeah.
What are those?
It's not about asking them what they've done. It's about how they've handled things. Ask about how they've dealt with conflicts, tight deadlines, tricky situations.
So it's less about what's on their resume and more about how they've navigated real-world challenges.
Exactly.
I like it.
And role-playing can be super helpful too.
Role-playing.
Yeah. Present a hypothetical scenario. Maybe a disagreement with a designer, a technical roadblock, a demanding client, and see how they respond.
Well, that's a good idea.
It's like a sneak peek into their communication style and problem-solving approach.
I like it. And if I really want to see them in action, can I just throw them into a group project with my team?
You absolutely can. Group interviews or team interaction sessions are great for assessing those teamwork skills.
So I can see how they interact, contribute ideas,
Yeah.
handle feedback.
Exactly. Think of it like a test drive before you fully commit.
This is all making so much sense. I'm feeling way more confident about evaluating candidates now. But what happens once I've found the one? How do I make sure they actually hit the ground running? And more importantly, that they want to stay with my company.
And we're back. All right, so you found your interface developer. Maybe you even used the perfectdeveloper.com to do it. But the journey doesn't end there. Now it's all about keeping them happy and thriving on your team.
Yeah, because developers are in high demand these days. How do I make my company stand out? Make sure they actually want to stick around.
It's all about the culture. You want to create an environment where developers feel valued, not just as code monkeys, but as collaborators and problem solvers.
Right, because building software is definitely a team effort.
Exactly. And collaboration is key.
So how do I make that happen? How do I make sure that collaborative magic is actually happening?
Well, first off, everyone on the team needs to understand the big picture. What are we building? Why does it matter? How does each person's role contribute to the end goal?
Right, no one wants to feel like a cog in a machine.
Exactly. When developers can see the impact of their work, they're more invested.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mhm.
But how do you keep that communication flowing? Especially if you have remote team members.
Regular meetings are essential. Even short daily check-ins can make a big difference. And project management tools can be a lifesaver. They keep everyone on the same page and help avoid those frustrating miscommunications.
So it's all about having the right systems in place.
It definitely helps. And don't forget about encouraging cross-functional collaboration. Let your developers interact with designers, product managers, even the marketing team.
Yeah, break down those silos, get everyone's brains working together.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got the human element covered. But are there any tools that can help build a stronger developer team?
Oh, absolutely. Think of it like equipping your team with the best gear possible. Automation tools, for example, are a game changer.
Automation tools.
Yeah, anything that can streamline those repetitive tasks frees up your developer's brain power for the creative stuff.
So it's all about working smarter, not harder.
Exactly.
What other tools should I be thinking about?
Well, security tools are essential these days. With all those cyber threats lurking around,
Yeah, definitely can't forget about security.
And then there are CI/CD pipelines.
CI/CD pipelines, what are those?
They automate the process of building, testing, and deploying code, which means you can get updates out to your users faster.
So it's all about speed.
It is.
Okay, so we've got the tools, the collaborative spirit, anything else that's crucial for keeping those developers happy and productive.
Don't underestimate the power of continuous learning.
Learning.
Yeah. Give your developers opportunities to grow. Maybe sponsor them to attend a conference, offer online courses, encourage them to experiment with new technologies.
So show them that you're invested in their future.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that makes them more likely to invest in yours.
Awesome advice. So to sum it all up, what's the one key takeaway for building a developer dream team that actually sticks around?
Create an environment where developers feel valued, respected, and empowered. Give them interesting challenges, support their growth, and celebrate their wins. Do that, and you'll be well on your way to building amazing software together.
Love it. Huge thanks to you for all these incredible insights. And of course, a big shout out to theperfectdeveloper.com for all their expertise. Listeners ready to take the next step, head over to theperfectdeveloper.com and try out their 5 questions tool. It's seriously the smartest way to start building your dream team. That's it for this mini deep dive. We'll catch you next time for another deep dive into the world of tech.